Aha! A very good morning to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue. Sunday morning, nothing gets past me. Remembrance Sunday, Sunday the 13th of November 2022. It's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning, and I thought I'd just pop up and see how you all were and give you a big dinky-do for a Sunday morning, a somber Sunday morning, but also on here we also reflect on what's happening in the world. So welcome, welcome, I say. Good morning, Scotty. Good morning, Francis. How lovely to have you with us, and a massive dinky-do to you. So good that you could join us. There's Nicole. Good morning, Scotty. Good morning, Meg. Thank you for coming and joining us this morning. Do stay with us and make sure you're following, of course, on the TikTok. This is becoming very, very big. One of the biggest things on TikTok at the moment appears to be Scottie McClue. 42.6 million of you have had a look at the videos. That's pretty good. Hi from Ireland. Good morning, Alan. Lovely to have you with us. What part? Come on, the Killie. Good morning, Scottie. No need to ask where you're from. Would it be Kilmarnock? Oh, fantastic. We love that. James has joined us. DINKY-DOO, James. Lots and lots of you joining us. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. Can every single one of you follow me so that we can get chit-chatting? And remember, this is the People's Show, so I want to hear from you. DINKY-DOO, good morning, Scottie. Good morning, Susan. How lovely to have you with us. And DINKY-DOO, I say to you, good day from Australia. Good day, Martin. Fantastic that you come and join us this morning from Australia. We are all over the world, guys. This is one big global show. Get sharing, get tap, tap, tappity tap on your phones if you're watching right now. And of course, follow me. Very important that you follow me. DINKY-DOO. Soon we'll make it 25% of the known globe once more, old chap. Well, we are 2 billion people have heard of Scottie McClue. There are only 8 billion people on the planet, if that. We're a tiny planet, tiny population. And for Aberdeen, fit like man, fit like yourself, who's your doos? Are you Aberdeen at sale, or are you further out? Are you near the Bankery, that kind of thing? But it's just bra to hear you ears. That's what I'm saying anyway. Right, DINKY-DOO Arian has joined us. DINKY-DOO Arian, get following, guys, as soon as you come on here. Hi, Sir Scottie, Johnny B. Hi to you. Lovely to have you with us, and DINKY-DOO. We both have our Glengarrys on. Neat. That's great news. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. The Scottish Lion has joined us. DINKY-DOO from Houston. Is that Houston, Texas, or Houston, Renfrewshire? A bit like when you used to get the train from Gourock to Bogston, and people thought you were traveling to Boston. So there you go. Because I remember the days when you had to make trunk calls, international calls. You picked up the phone and you spoke via the operator. And this poor soul had got through to Boston in the USA. And what it was Bogston, just outside Port Glasgow, between Port Glasgow and Greenock. And what he was wanting to say is, Ma, I'm doing it the chippy. They've no got any fish for you to a pudding. So that was that. Good morning, Scottie. Just getting ready for the police cadets for my Remembrance Parade. Elizabeth, I am so very, very proud of you. Thank you for your service. DINKY-DOO, everybody. I am still, what are you doing? I am still is in America, and he's sending me 50 daisies. One of the kindest people on the planet. I say to you, there's Craig, DINKY-DOO Craig. I am still so lovely to hear from you. You should be in your bed, should you not? Yes, indeed. Alfie's just joined us. Guys, as soon as you join, get following. Very, very important. And get sharing. I've got 261 likes. Very, very good of you. Tremendous. But hardly anybody has followed. Now, that's very, very, very naughty. I'm sitting here talking to you, and it would just be a tiny bit of humanity to pop up to the top left-hand corner and click a plus sign. Am I not worth a click? I'm an ital, sir. I am still. You are what we call in Scotland a hoolet, an owl. There you are. And if you were around in the morning, you would be a lark. So you can either be a lark or a hoolet in Scotland, I say to you. And you are a hoolet. There we are. What have we got here? Billy 22. Yes, what's your problem? Yes, maybe low IQ, actually. I'm just having a look. Kareem's up and about this morning, bless him, because Kareem was telling us last night on the phone in. He's had the long COVID. And there he is, wonderful, up and about. Have you been up all night? No, Dino. Having a beautiful sleep. Early this morning, Scotty? Not really. We quite often do early pop-ups, just maybe you haven't seen them. Fantastic. We're a new mental health group nationwide. Warriors, anxiety mods across the globe. We are building. Good for you. And remember, mental health is not a sign of weakness. It's very often a sign of staying strong for far too long. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Kareem, says Susan. Now, who have we got? Australia, not funny, not clever, not of any interest to us at all, and you are a disgrace to Oz. We will block you with pleasure. There you are, that's you blocked. Gone, wonderful, we like that. There we are, end of that, halfwit. Now, who else have we got here? Fantastic, right, that's that. There we go. You do get the idiots, and you have to see to them. It's a shame. It really is. Hello from Michigan. Jacqueline, I've been corrected on many occasions. I was calling it Michigan. So no, Michigan, Lake Michigan. Am I correct? Fantastic. Great to see you. It's been a while. I hope you're well, my friend. I am still. I am. We just haven't done many earlies at the moment because I'm kind of working fairly full out at the moment. So it's just getting the time. Alfie says, do you know about Loch Gilpit? I could tell you everything about Loch Gilpit. Poltalloch Street. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. And the main street and the flagpole, which has just been repaired. They've been working away at the head of the loch there. And perhaps one of the finest pipe bands in the world, Mid-Argyll, and Poltalloch House. And my parents are in Achnabrek. What about that? Who have you got here? Hey, hope you're doing well, DINKY-DOO. You're looking very voluptuous this morning. I thank you very much. Yes, I have a voluptuous chin. Follow us, guys, as soon as you can. Lol, says James, DINKY-DOO. James, lovely to have you with us. And welcome. Hello from Nova Scotia, says Mamel. Mamel Pound in Nova Scotia. We thank you for Nova Scotia, New Scotland. We love it. Guys, get sharing. I've only got 594 likes. That means nobody's giving it tap, tap, tappity, tap. Also, have you followed? Yes, it's a straight question. Good morning, Scotty. Good morning, the wonderful Frank McElroy. Lovely to have you with us, Frank. DINKY-DOO. Good morning, McCLUE, says Mr. Martin. Good morning. Lovely to have you with us in DINKY-DOO. Lola. Follow us, guys, as soon as you can. I play the bass drum in Mid-Argyll. Alfie, that's fantastic news. Just say Scotty McCLUE says thank you to every single member of the band. Outstanding playing. I love your seconds. When you're playing your seconds on my own march past, the Glendaruel Highlanders. There we are, DINKY-DOO. Hello, Hector. Absolutely. I'm a Scotsman. Follow us, guys, as soon as you possibly can. And I'll give you a shout. There's Great Britain has just followed. Wonderful human being. Scotsman 64 has just followed me. A wonderful human being. We love all that. Get following, guys, as soon as you possibly can. I need about another 50 followers. We might actually do it while we're up this morning. Who knows? What do you think about the B-17 crash at the Dallas Air Show? Very, very, very upset to hear about it. Do we know if anybody has survived? The news I was getting was that nobody on the ground was hurt, but the B-17 just became a fireball. Heartbreaking. Beautiful old aircraft as well, and lovely people who take the time and trouble to restore them, repair them, fly them. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Scotty. Good morning. Hello, Scotchman. Well, it's actually Scotsman. Scotch is an old word and is really only now applied to whiskey or to broth, to soup, Scotch broth. And if you go to wonderful places like Carlisle, you can still find Scotch Street, but it would be Scots. Was you on the radio once? No, Paul. I was on the radio many times. 30 years on the radio, 38 years in television and radio. Follow us, guys, as soon as you possibly can. This is big. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. We are huge. So actually go up to the top left, click follow. There's wonderful people following. Jamie has followed. Wonderful, Jamie. Thank you. Paul has followed. Wonderful, Paul. Thank you. Top human beings. Why are you shouting? Well, I'm not actually shouting. This is the way I talk. So you'll have to turn your volume down. There we are. I've never shouted in my life. What are your thoughts on black people? Not any different from my thoughts in any other colour of people. So there you are. I must say I wouldn't even notice anybody's colour now, because we'd get rid of racism immediately if we acknowledged and accepted that it is only one race, the human race, and we're all members, and that's what it's about. So I don't have thoughts on people of any particular colour. I just need to know a first name, so I've got something to call them by. Yes, indeed. I see that hat in Remembrance Day. I never know what it's all about. It's the Glengarry. Yes, 700 Glengarried men. The call came sweeping down the glen. Dinner, stare and stand. Get your rifle in your hand. The Argylls are moving again. Yes, indeed. So it's all to do with ancient Scottish battle, the Glengarry. You see, we used to have all separate Scottish regiments. Now you've just got, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is it 7 Scots? But you used to have regiments like the King's Own Scottish Borderers. Over the border in Cumbria, you had the Border Regiment. Over in Newcastle, you had the Northumberland Fusiliers. Moving up in Scotland, you had the Royal Scots, who are so old that they were called Pontius Pilate's bodyguard. Pontius Pilate was actually a Scotsman, you see, from Fortingall in Perthshire. And what else did we have? You had the Royal Highland Fusiliers, Princess Margaret's Ayrshire Regiment, which were actually an amalgamation of the Royal Scots Fusiliers and the old Highland Light Infantry. Yes, the HLI in their Mackenzie tartan at Maryhill Barracks in Glasgow until about, maybe 1959. They were at the Maryhill Barracks. There you are. It's a Scotch bonnet. It is indeed. Yes, indeed. Are you the guy? No, I'm not, Dylan. Sorry to disappoint you. Dylan was wondering if I was an Austin Powell. Heartbreaking, that blaze in Dundee. I saw that, Frank. Yes, indeed. Mamel says 6 souls. Yes, Mamel, thank you for letting us know. Scotty McClue, did you forget your beard? No, my beard blew off in the wind. I'm a stronger gum. So there we have it. Albagobrach, you've spelt that long. It's vra. Yes, Albagavra. There we are. Freedom, indeed, Mamel. Yes, that's what it's all about. Nice beanie mate, indeed, the real Rob. I loved your radio show. Thank you, Paul. Actually, millions of people, literally millions of people loved that show, including me. And then some very, very lost poor soul decided to cut it for absolutely no reason. I think they had a very big ego. I certainly didn't, and that was rather good. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. Follow us as much as you can. DINKY-DOO, Steve, yes. What cat badge is that? That's my own personal cat badge, the Hand of Justice. There you have it. Was you on still him? I think you mean still game. No, sadly, I wouldn't. Outside voice should only be used outside. That's why I always use my inside voice. Yes, very, very important. Opinion on Scottish independence. I think Scotland needs to cut the apron strings because the union was put together corruptly with jiggery pokery and skullduggery and bribery and corruption. There is no case for the union with Scotland. And even though Scotland was struggling a bit at the time because King William had pulled his money out of the Darien scheme and left these poor souls to die in the isthmus of Panama. What we actually had there, we had to seriously devalue the Scottish economy and the pound Scots to facilitate economic union with England. So there is actually no case. I mean, Westminster will tell you a different story because they are in a panic. If Scotland goes independent, it doesn't really fit with the world's agenda at the moment. You know, it would become the power base. Who have we got here? Follow us, guys, as soon as you can. Let's get the followers on. Now then, I need another 40 followers right now. So guys, if you're watching right now, pop up to the top left-hand corner, click the plus sign. There we are. DINKY-DOO, I say, number one silver. Thank you so much for your follow. Can you do bagpipes? No, I can't actually, Aaron. My father was a great piper. He played with the Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders. And it used to amuse him because other bands had to stop playing because they were the senior regiment, the Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders. Yes, indeed, raised by the Camerons. And my grandfather was a great bagpiper. He played the bagpipes in Gallipoli in 1915. And he was also on horseback. He was on a mounted regiment called the Scottish Horse. There's user 4924 who wants to say hi to the Royal Artillery. We salute the Royal Artillery. Yes, they're very, very popular in Ireland, the British Army and the Royal Artillery. DINKY-DOO, hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you, Blackpool 38. I hope all is well in the pool. We love you. Cheryl has followed. Cheryl, thank you so much for your follow. Everybody should be following Scottie McClue live on TikTok. I've got 1,900 likes. Can everybody go tap, tap, tappity, tap, tappity, tappity, tap? Because this is very, very big. And if you're on TikTok, you should be following Scottie McClue. Good morning from England. George, good morning, and a very warm welcome to our beautiful English brothers and sisters and cousins and aunts and uncles. Yes, and dads and mums. What's your name and what do you cook? Dr. Blacker. My name is Scottie McClue, and the reason that I'm not on television all the time across the world is because I don't cook. I remember a lovely old Yorkshire friend of mine, he says, Aye, Scotty, always love to hear you on radio, lad. Aye, that's it. Because, well, television, it's basically crap. I put on one channel, he's cooking. I put on another channel, she's cooking. I put on another one, he's cooking. I think, right, I've seen enough of this. I'm off to listen to Scotty. So there, but what I might do, just to get back on the telly, I might maybe do a fried egg in butter on a soft Scottish roll. Stop! Oh! So there you are, Dinky-Doo, down in the mud, Dinky-Doo. Lovely to have you with us. So thank you, Dr. Blacker. So I'm very sorry. There was a wonderful gentleman called Lord Grade, who ran Associated Television, ATV. Wonderful guy. And Lord Grade and his brother, they ran this amazing company. Now, he was a real show business guy. And he brought stuff for generations of children. I mean, there was a guy went round some of the ITV stations and got rejections. He went to Lord Grade, he went to Lou, very approachable man. And Lou used to smoke the big cigar, and he goes, I'd take as much of this as you can give me. Fireball XL5, Stingray, Captain Scarlet and the Mysterins. What else? Thunderbirds. Ah, wonderful guy. And so there you are. Fantastic. Then another gentleman went in, and Lou said to him, I'll take as much of this as you can give me. The Muppets. He brought us the Muppets. And he just was an entertainment man running an entertainment setup. So successful. He was a dancer originally. Could do the Charleston for you when he was about 80. His book's called Still Dancing. But Lou Grade, and I worked with a lot of people that knew him well. And somebody once said to me, somebody very senior in ITV said, if Lou Grade had been alive today, Scottie McClue would never be off our television screens. Isn't that beautiful? So there you are. Sadly, he's passed away now, Lou. There we are, Dinky-Doo Marty Man. Hi from Dublin and Ireland. We love having you with us. 878. The KOSB, says Paul Ray. Yes, the King's Own Scottish Borderers. You never refer to them as the Cosbys. Did you have bagpipes? No, down in the mud. My father did. My grandfather did. And played them during the war. J. John says, you on the bevy, Scotty? No, J. John, you must not assume everybody else has your lifestyle. So there we are. I used to love your show years ago on Red Rose Radio. I hope you're having a great weekend. Blackpool 38. Red Rose Radio, that show was huge. And then it came to Scotland, and it was quite simply huge. Then it went down to Yorkshire and was quite simply huge. Then it went to the northwest of England, and it was quite simply huge. Then we tried it out in London at Talk Radio UK, and it was quite simply huge. You know, and then some absolute strange character turned up. So there we are. There's user 878 talks about a very ancient terrorist organization called the Irish Republican Army. And that's ancient history. That's 100 years ago. That organization, it absolutely developed into pure terrorism and then got split right down the middle when they murdered the great Lord Mountbatten. And that was the end of that organization. You know what I mean? They'd shocked themselves. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So don't even mention them on here. They're not worthy of a mention. I know I have, but I was just explaining. Has your razor broke? Yes, my razor's broke. I'm growing a big beard right now. Well spotted. Instead of having Remembrance Day, do you think they should make it Remembrance Weekend? Well, Frank, I think they do. It's actually Remembrance Week, really, because the poppies go on sale. And then you have the Armistice Day, which was Friday at 11 o'clock, to mark the signing of the armistice, to mark the end of the First World War. And that's why it should be commemorated. Sadly, we had the Second World War. But, hopefully we will not have more war. The world leaders need to, they're all educated now, and there's no excuse for war. War is just when politics have failed, when world leaders fall out. And the way this mob are going at the moment, they will fall out. They have fallen out. So there we are. Frank says, give them more respect. Absolutely. Huge respect. Hello from Largs, says Millie. Now, Millie, I am saying to you, go on to Scottie McClue's TikTok videos. Can you see them from there? Go on to the TikTok videos and scroll down, and you'll see an old black and white photo of Largs. And it's so popular. I think about a couple of thousand at least have looked at it the last time I looked. And it's just a lovely old photo of Largs. So scroll down and you will see it. Guys, can you all see Scottie McClue's TikTok videos? I've got 2,000 likes. Thank you. Woo! Every day, tap, tap, tappity, tap, tappity, tappity, tap. If you're watching, are you following? 42.5 million people at least have watched Scottie McClue on TikTok videos, but I've only got 22,000 followers. What's going on? How lazy are people? They can't just go up to the top left and go click, click, clickety, click. Lovely. Are you doing anything for Remembrance? Well, I do every year. I usually pop up and talk about Remembrance. But if you check the TikTok videos, you'll see one or two of my messages there. You'll see me remembering my wonderful Uncle Colin. I didn't know him, but he was apparently an outstanding guy. And, had some great people. He was only 21, and he'd already worked as a journalist and for Glasgow Police. And he's on the Glasgow Police War Memorial. He's on the Royal Naval War Memorial at Chatham at the Dockyard. And he's on the memorial in Ardrishig in Argyll. Yes, the War Memorial down in the main street, just up from the pier in front of the canal. And Uncle Colin is there on 3 memorials. 21, he went down with HMS Harvester, a destroyer, in the Battle of the Atlantic. The Wolfpack submarines were operating very effectively. And she'd rammed a submarine. They stopped ramming after that. And the Harvester had damaged the steering gear, so she was a sitting duck. A submarine got her, and then a French corvette called the Aconit sank the submarine. Yes, very, very interesting. Follow us, guys, as soon as you possibly can. You can't afford independence, says Dr. Blacker. Dr. Blacker, who's been pulling your chain? Who's pulling your strings? Who's got their hand up your back? Can't afford independence? Are you kidding? What we can't afford is to remain in the Union. Scotland holds all the cards. We have the energy. We have the water. We have the food. We have the exports. Perhaps one of the most pivotal countries in the world right now, and potentially one of the wealthiest. So don't give me any nonsense about can't afford independence. What we can't afford is to be robbed blind by Westminster for another 313 years. So there you are, Dr. Blacker. And that's coming from a man who used to be a staunch unionist until I got all the facts from all the different sources. So even although you're panicking, Dr. Blacker, you'll have to find your own way ahead. Now, who have we got here? Good morning, McClue. Yes, lovely to have you with us. DINKY-DOO. Lots of super discussions going on. Follow us, guys, as you can. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, Jazz D, for your follow. Well said, Biggin. Absolutely. Zach says, found you by accident, but I'm not complaining. It's a nice, pleasant way to start the morning. Cheers, Scotty. Zach, cheers. Thank you for joining us. So very, very kind of you. Wonderful stuff. Guys, I need another 30 followers. Goodbye then. Good riddance, says Stephen. Goodbye, Stephen, and good riddance to you. Absolutely. There we are. Dr. Blacker's had a whacker there. Jazz. Are you a Freemason, says Donny. Now, Donny, in my experience, there's no such thing as a Freemason. I had a friend who had a big country house, and he was needing to polish up his ashlars and get them repointed. And he called in the Masons, and the bill was about £50,000. That doesn't sound free to me. So I would say Masons are actually very expensive. They're not free. There we are, operative Masons. There we are. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. DINKY-DOO. Hello from Largs. And Millie, I've already said to you, get on there. If you hate the royal family, clap your hands. Well, Chris, you'll not hear any clapping in the United Kingdom. Nobody, apart from a half-witted idiot with a very, very low IQ, would ever hate the royal family. In fact, nobody should ever hate at all. So there we are, because our royal family, every single person in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and in Ireland itself, is very, very, very proud of the monarchy, because they are the curators and custodians of the crown. And that's our symbol of authority. And you wouldn't say to America, if you hate the stars and stripes, clap your hands, would you? No. So don't be silly. There we are. Away and grow up and get yourself an education, Chris. And you've even got, you're called after Field Marshal Haig. There we are, who was the Field Marshal in the First World War. So never, ever, ever come out of that, Chris. No, no. DINKY-DOO from Wales, Welsh Lou. DINKY-DOO to you. And fantastic to have you with us, I say. Hi, Scotty. You're going to George Square. John, I won't be going to George Square. But I used to stay in Maryhill, and we would see everybody marching back from the cenotaph to the Walcheren barracks. Yes, that was Holland, wasn't it, Walcheren? So there you have it. Hello from Ireland, DINKY-DOO, Jack. Lovely to have you with us. Fantastic stuff. DC, you need to get yourself a life. You're very misinformed. What have we got here? What in the universe credit is going on here? Kemi, one of the finest talk shows in the world, is going on right before your eyes on TikTok. Isn't that beautiful? Now, who have we got here? Scotty's a true Scot legend. Same as the big one, John DINKY-DOO, and thank you. There we go. Now then, hang on a second. Lovely. Who have we got here? Are you doing the Trump? Oh, we love the Trump. I think I used to be a bit skeptical of the Don, but I've been watching his rallies, and boy, is he hot stuff. You know, at the age of, what is he, 74? Amazing. I think he's America's king. And did you notice that there had been a bit of reports of ballots being fiddled against Republicans? I saw that this morning. There you are. Dude, what's your truth bomb of the day? My truth bomb of the day is be yourself. Yes? Be aware of what's going on in the world today and why. Absolutely. Is your favorite instrument the bagpipes? Well, you see, my father, as I say, was a great piper, as was my grandfather, and my great uncle was a bagpipe maker. And I love the bagpipes, adore it. But the actual instrument of Scotland, The bagpipes are more via Ireland, the big Irish war pipes, and the little Uilleann pipes as well, of course, and the Northumberland pipes with the bellows as well. But I think my father was also a Scottish violinist. He played the fiddle, and quite outstandingly. He was a Mod medalist, and it's a beautiful instrument, the Scottish fiddle. The penny wedding. Respect to you, Chris. What language are you speaking, says Joan. I am speaking a language called English, Joan. And if you're struggling to understand, we can speak slowly, or you could maybe get a translation into English from whatever you're speaking. So there you have it, no problem at all. Sad thing is, America loves war, says Badabing. Well, yes, but not on its own territory. America's big panic is that somebody brings war to America. It's okay for America to go away and fight a war, but you don't want it going on nearer to home. And that's why the Americans are all armed, the largest army in the world, the American people. There you have it. Follow us, guys, if you possibly can. Get following. Thank you very much. Lovely to have you with us. I need another 50 followers. If you're watching right now, please get following. Very important. We'll probably pop up later for Remembrance Sunday. John Cox has followed. Thank you, John. Frank has followed. Thank you, Frank. Shona has followed. Thank you, Shona. These are beautiful human beings, and they will never regret following Scottie McClue, the world's top talk show. We are live here. I have been labeled as the world's top broadcaster and the world's most humble man. So that's not bad, is it? Dinky-Doo, I say to you, I'm going on parade today. Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. I am still, what are you doing? I am still sending me TikTok gifts. He's a most generous man. And the other night, a gentleman sent £10 on the YouTube channel. Guys, get on to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel and subscribe. So there we are. So John will not be at George Square today. Scottie, one person's war hero is another's war criminal. No one's innocent when it comes to war. Well, William, I think it's the old following orders, isn't it? You see, the crime would be the war itself. So I think a war hero is a war hero. But nobody wins a war. I'll grant you that. Nobody has ever won a war. Somebody was asking me, they said, didn't Britain win the war? I said, well, 10 million deaths is not winning. Now, who we got? You've already had your say with the vote, says Millie. No, Millie. That was 2014. Things move on, right? That was 8 years ago. Since then, we've had the tragedy, the worst act of self-harm since the First World War, called Brexit. And we broke away from the world's top trading market. The most foolish thing under the sun. So I'm sorry, we haven't had our say with a vote. Also, they haven't got the full loyalist vote. So if we make it entirely clear that the monarchy will always remain the head of state in Scotland, the monarch will always be the head of state in Scotland, you'll see the vote go shooting up. Because you lose 50% of the vote if you've got anti-monarchists. Yeah. Scotland versus New Zealand today. Scotland will be independent, says William. I think it will. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for following, guys. So much appreciated. There we have it. Now then, Interesting hat, very interesting hat. Scotty, good morning. I haven't seen your lives for a while. How is my Scottish friend? Nice to see you here. Tico, so lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo. Kareem says, Millie, you're only allowed one vote, generation past now. 2023, yes. The direct ferry link from Rosyth to Europe is an important part of independence. Oh, Bobby. You see, Scotland, as you well know, Bobby, has traded with Europe for thousands of years. Yeah. So has the UK. But Scotland, very close to Europe. The old alliance, going back to the 1740s. So I think really, and remember, we had a queen, Mary, Queen of Scots, a Stuart, a Scots lady, educated in France and speaking French in her household. You see how close we are. The English have never really forgiven the French for taking over England in 1066. William the Conqueror, the Norman conquest. I mean, no country likes being cowed like that. But England is really a mixture of English, French, and German. So the English people are hybrids, you see, and that rankles a bit, whereas the Scots have got a purity of Scottish blood. Yes, indeed. There we have it. Hello from Helensburgh in Scotland. Yes, we love Helensburgh, Jack. I used to go to Helensburgh 6 or 7 times a day. I was the deckhand on the MV Granny Kempock, run by a wonderful, wonderful, lovely man called Roy Ritchie, Walter Roy Ritchie, W.R. Ritchie. Roy, lovely man. He was about 67 at that time. 66, 67. Big, strong man. And an incredible master of the sea, a ferry master. And he had this lovely 65-foot MFV built during the war. It was built in 1944. And I joined her in 68, which was 24 years old. And she was the Guruk to Helensburgh Ferry. So I used to stand at Guruk Pier and shout, Helensburgh! Helensburgh now! And then I would stand on Helensburgh Pier and shout, Guruk! Guruk now! The Ton are rising again, Scotty. We love the Ton. Wonderful people. Yes, indeed. And I knew Mr. Ray. And the Ton. Hi, Scotty. Hope you're keeping well. Dinky-Doo. Jesus Christ is at the door. Repent now and be saved, please. Well, Faris, I'm actually okay. I have a direct line to Jesus Christ, and I have never sinned. So I don't need to repent, you see. I just need to praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. And walk in the footsteps of the Master. So there's no repentance required there, Faris. But thank you. There will be people watching who have sinned, you know. There we are. What have we got? Dinky-Doo, Caden. How is it now that the Queen is gone? Well, the Queen is dead. Long live the King. The United Kingdom is never, or Britain, I should say, because it's a landmass. There's no such country as Britain. But you would apply the word British to the people who are of the member countries of the United Kingdom at the moment. And the monarchy is the British monarchy. That's absolutely fine. One crown, one king. So there you are. So we always have it that we're never without a monarch. And the nanosecond a monarch passes away, a new one takes over. So you would say, the Queen is dead, long live the King. We have King Charles. Now, Borada, Borada, Dinky-Doo, Tico. How lovely to have you with us. This is fabulous, guys. Now then, I'm just looking. I need about another 20 followers. Can you get following, please? Morning from sunny Govan. G-Man, Dinky-Doo. Absolutely. Morning from sunny Govan. We love you, sunny Govan. Dinky-Doo. I love your radio station as well. Morning from Dunfermline. Rondon. Congratulations on your city's status. And you had a visit from the King and Queen. Woo! The King sits in Dunfermline Town, drinking the blood-red wine. Sir Patrick Spence. And Dunfermline, of course, the home of Andrew Carnegie, one of the world's richest men, and a goodie. So many of the world's richest men have a kind of, what can I say? They have a dark side to them. They have a malevolence. And I don't like that, because they've been given that money courtesy of the people. And they should be the people's servant. They should serve the people. Nobody should die a rich man financially. I mean, I am an outstandingly rich man. Perhaps not in terms of currency, but I am just perhaps the world's richest man, Scottie McClue. Just with the gifts that I have been privileged to receive. And it's still going on. The many, many kindnesses that people have done. And that makes me incredibly rich. But I see very, very moneyed people. And with some of them, there is a malevolence. It's questionable how they came about that money. But Andrew Carnegie, for me, had a benevolence about it. And we still have the Carnegie Trust, which is wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Morning, Scotty. Just a question. Have you ever watched Still Game? It's so funny you should say that. I watched a repeat of it the other night. It was fantastic. So there you are. Yes, I have. Scotty, why should anyone rule a country because they think they are better? Well, William, we're all human. That's just the difference. They don't rule because they think they are better. Many a monarch would love to not have to rule, but they rule out of service because they are the servants of the people. And Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II never, ever, ever said she was better than anyone else. She just fulfilled her high office with a lifetime of public service. So you've got a wee mistake there, William. Why should anyone rule a country? Because the royal family don't think they are better in any shape or form. And I suspect if you actually said to the human being, would you like to not have to rule, even although it's your destiny or your fate or your gift? We elected our monarchy in 1320 in Scotland with the Declaration of Arbroath. And after that, people have to serve as monarch. And it's a very, very tough gig, William. So you are maybe 100% better off because you're not a monarch. You are free to do what you like with your life. Do you see what I mean? So there you are, William. There are two sides to every story. But the monarch, the proud son of the monarch, bears your name, and you bear his. But the last King William, he was a goodie, William IV, King William, as in King Billy, 1688, was a very, very, very bad man. There you are, you see. So I could tell you all that. I think after Tuesday, Florida, yes, interesting I am still, we shall see. Trump needs to step back. No, I don't know I am. I think Donald should be the next big man on his merits. You know, I really do. You remind me of the posh guys who'll still give. Oh, Paul. Well, I don't think I've ever been called posh before. There we are. What have we got here? DINKY-DOO, lest we forget. Yes, indeed, DVC. We will remember them. I am still. Thank you for all your beautiful gifts. Hello from the Punjab. Jagtande. Yes, I wish they had never had partition. And I think Lord Mountbatten could have hung on had he been aware of a secret sitting in a safe in India in 1947. And then we wouldn't have had to see the splitting of the Punjab and the deaths of so many people. I send love to the Punjab. I send love to India. One of the last governors of the Punjab was General Sir Claude Auchinleck, the Auk. Field Marshal Auchinleck, the Auk. Is this King Henry VIII? I don't think so, Callum. No, he had a beard, did he not? There we are. Morning, Scotty, from North Berwick. I'm a German vet, not from the Second World War, and wouldn't do it again. There we are. Yes, German vet. Well, I'll tell you a story. There was an old lady walking her dog along the prom in Blackpool, and a big wave washed her little dog into the sea, and she thought she'd lost him. And a lovely big German man came along and grabbed the dog and resuscitated the dog and held him close to his heart, got him all warmed up and handed him back to the old lady 100% well. And she said, "Thank you very much." She said, "Are you a vet?" And he said, "Am I a vet? I'm absolutely joking." Do you like? There we are. Lovely to have you with us. Yes, indeed. Loyalists rule, says George. Well, no, I would say royalists rule. Loyalists can have a different connotation. The loyalists have been a little bit, what can I say, sullied by King Billy, who was a baddie. You know what I mean? So I think maybe the likes of the loyalists should maybe have a meeting and think a bit more about where they're going with this. They represent the crown in the Bible. So does the king. Bring back the clan lifestyle. Do you know, Polly, that's a very, very interesting suggestion. So instead of Scottish politics being party politics, perhaps the parliament should be filled with clan politics. Clandestinely. Have you heard of the band D's? I think I have, Joachim. A shout out to Londonderry City in the Irish Cup final this afternoon. Yes, indeed. Absolutely done, Clay. Yes, indeed. Up the Royal Artillery, says Vincent. Absolutely, Vincent. We salute you and thank you for your felicitations from Ireland. Scotland, what's your opinion on Scotland? My opinion on Scotland is I love it, as everyone does. There we are. I love your hat. Thank you, George Gio. Thank you, Scotland, to free Europe. Jesus loves you. Basharala. Jesus doesn't just love us, he adores us, and we love him. So, who else have we got? Who wins the cup final today? Londonderry City or Shelburne? Ah, we shall see, shan't we? Now then, we all said kings. Father Wisdom, who is we? Where are you from? There we are. Do you think about an independent Scotland? I think we do very well economically. I'm not too bothered about the politics, but I am about the economics because we're tired of being robbed blind by Westminster. There we are. Now then, the rise of the Clan Fraser. Yes. Lord Lovett was a Fraser. Shimmy, Lovett. Castle Fraser. I've actually performed in Castle Fraser. Yes, indeed. No, you don't. Lots of Scottish people immigrated from Ireland. No, that's Irish people who have immigrated to Scotland. That's not Scottish people who have immigrated from Ireland. That's Irish people who have emigrated to Scotland. Irish people who have emigrated to Scotland, a lot of them at the time of the Great Famine in 1840. There we are. Absolute waffler, says Dill. Well, Dill, you're still welcome. We welcome brilliant people, and we welcome people like yourself who waffle, because it's a talk show, and your waffle is talk. It may or may not be interesting. We shall find out. It's up to you to prove that. There we are. Can you give Demi a happy birthday? Of course I can, big fudge. Plans for today, Scotty? Heading for a parade or staying in? I'll be watching the Remembrance service on television. There we are. I do hope we don't get a commentator talking over the tunes. We had a commentator, a great guy, very, very good, excellent commentator, but I saw that you could press the red button and watch it without the commentary. And that was manna from heaven, because what we were getting, and now a medley of tunes, The Minstrel Boy, Oft in the Stilly Night. I thought, could you please just back off just now and let us hear the music? Put on your television nowadays, guys, and it's mainly just loud music, because television producers don't have the confidence to just let the people talk. There we have. I have to dash soon, guys. We're running out of time. Scotty, I have a swollen nose. Well, you look after that. That could be a sign of something deeper, you know? Or you may just have been rubbing it too much. If you haven't sinned, cast your stone. Absolutely, Polly. Yes, I would throw my stones into the bundle in the desert. What have we got? Hang on a second, guys. Wonderful. Now then, who have we got here? Scotty, you are the Don, my friend. Hello from California. Guys, I'm going to have to dash. When you go home, tell them of us and say that for your tomorrow, we gave our today. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. But at the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Good morning. Good morning.